Thank you so much for joining us and standing on an apple box. The apple box has a significance in your life, right?
Yes, it does. It has a huge significance, and when I first wanted to think of a title for the book, I don't know why this came up to my mind, because I wanted something that would intrigue people to know why, at the same point something that is very relevant in my life. So that's how the whole title thing came up, and that's the first chapter by itself as to why, because that was the first question that pops up in everyone's mind as to why the title. So that's the first chapter.
Do you want to tell us the relevance of the apple box?
Maybe just briefly, because I don't want to give off too much of what's there in the book. It's basically it is an apple box. So the apple box is something that is used predominantly in shooting spots, and it's used as in multivarious ways. It's used to give height. It's used to make cameras go up a little more. It's used for by lightmen and to keep stuff and whatnot. So I think being born in the industry, brought up and married into and working also in it, I think nothing else would have made so much more sense.
Absolutely. And for somebody who's been born into the industry, but you were kind of kept away from the spotlight and the arclight in your growing years. And so, I'm going to ask you about that. What was it like growing up as the daughter of a man who's regarded as a phenomenon? He's like, superstar is not the word, megastar, megastar. So what was it like growing up as his daughter?
I think I need to really give it to my mother first, and obviously my dad too, that for a very long time they kept the whole stardom part of our lives away from both of us, because I guess they wanted some kind of normalcy in our life and some kind of that not tainting how we look at things and how we look at ourselves too. So I think we need to give it to them for that, and now I understand the value of it more because I'm a mother, and to wanting to keep that normalcy while bringing up children is something that we all fight for, coming from where we come from. So I'm sure it must have been a big challenge, but they've done a beautiful job of it.
Absolutely.
And I think I really need to give it to both of them for that.
And these days, as we see, like, parents have a tough time, like ones in the industry, of shielding their children, because now there's much more press and cameras and paparazzi. So are you in a way grateful that wasn't so in your time, but now as a mom, I'm sure you're dealing with it?
Oh, definitely. I think it's more of a challenge today with all the technological advancement, and there's no privacy at all. At least those days it was just just the landline, and then you would have just photographs out of cameras. Now anyone can take a picture anywhere, and you're even for children, I would say that today I can keep more of track of my son than what my mother could have kept of me then, because we have mobile phones and we have GPS and whatnot. So I think it's a challenge for the children and for the parents equally, that today it is tough.
So when as a child did you realize, for somebody who was kept away, and realized that, hey, my dad is actually the superstar that he is? When did that dawn on you?
That actually dawned on us when we started going out to see his movies. As in, we always used to watch preview shows, or it used to be the movies, the older movies at home. So I think it started slowly sinking into us only when we started going to the theatre per se to watch his movies, and the whole adulation and the kind of unconditional love that people had, and the way they expressed it. I think only then it kind of started, dawning on us that there is so much love around. Why and what's going on, kind of a thing. So, like you said, it was a little easier then with the whole frenzy just happening when you're out. It's not like as in my kids have access to Facebook and Twitter, so they get to know more and they get to understand more much faster. But I think we took our own sweet time. It was a beautiful transition. It was very organic. There was nothing fast about it, or there was nothing sudden about it. So I think that's when it dawned that he's larger than life, and it was more beautiful because he was not that way at home at all.
Absolutely.
So that was the beauty of it, that there was a marked difference, stark difference between the man at home and the man outside.
And your father is somebody who doesn't take his stardom rather seriously, because he's very, very normal. the interaction that people have had with him, and somebody who likes to keep to himself.
I think he takes it very seriously. That's why he keeps so calm. And I think, he kind of understands what surrounds him and the kind of love that he gets and how he kind of needs to value it. So I think he doesn't take it as a joke. He doesn't take it lightly. So that's why he's so calm about it. He's not brash about it in any which ways, whether talking about it or making statements about it or voicing out opinions about it, because I think that's how seriously he takes it.
And also there is always this hysteria before his film's release. We hear of 4 a.m. shows and Abhishekams happening. So what is it like for him? Does he also get nervous, or is he like, it's okay, it's just another film release?
I think for any artist, if from whatever I have seen, every movie is like a first movie. And it's again the beauty of cinema, because you never know what audience, you can never predict the audience. You might think that yes, this is going to work for sure, but then it might just not work. And the unpredictability that surrounds cinema is what is the beauty of it also. So I think every movie is like a new movie, is like a first movie, like a debutant. And I think he looks at it like that. Only that's the reason why he puts in so much of effort even now. It's not like he doesn't take things lightly. He doesn't take things easy. So for him, even this movie is his very first movie.
And coming back to your book, when did you think about writing it? As it's a memoir, growing up the girl amongst the stars. So what was the idea behind writing this book, and what is it that you wanted to bring out through your book?
Honestly, the book happened. I was not planning to write a book at all. I have colleagues and friends who brought to me the fact that blogging is in now. Why don't we, try blogging and writing of sorts. I've always been interested in writing because I've seen my mother write a lot. She used to write a lot of English poetry. She was a singer, and she still sings. So she used to write a lot of poetry. She used to love to jot down her thoughts. So I used to have this habit of maintaining a diary because I used to see her mum write a lot. So I think the inspiration came from there first. And through the years after I got married, it all took back seat because your priorities change, and then you have kids, and then started working, and then you run a home, and you just put all this behind. You don't you don't prioritize that much, saying that you can always do it later. So when the blogging idea came up, I said, I'm just not tech savvy at all. I'm very bad. Even to change a phone, unless and until I have to, I don't think I would want to change. And my laptops will remain till I have to update it, or I'm really bad at it. So I said, this is not going to work for me. So might as well first let me start writing. Let me just warm up to the whole fact that I want to start writing. And then I had a very dear colleague who said, why don't we just write, and I'll send it across to a publication. Let's see if they're interested. Her name's Aditi. So she works with me, and I said, okay, if you want to send it across, why don't you just send it across to them? And we thought of Harper, because being who they are, and we've read so many books of theirs. So I said, why not? It was a long shot, but it's not wrong, to think that way. So I said, okay, let's see if they're interested. And at that point, they were very interested. And my first draft by itself, they showed interest. I was pretty elated, and I was quite. It was encouraging to know that they wanted to, they wanted to work on this, and that's how the whole thing came. And unfortunately, through the years, I've not maintained my diary because you just don't think that it's going to be important at all. You never. I really wish I had. I would have had so much more to say, but I've just did not preserve them at all, and I feel bad about it. But whatever I could pull off threads from my thoughts and my memories, I've tried to jot down, and that's the memoir.